All right, welcome to the Infinite Logos plugin package install and walkthrough. This is a SDK gaming software plugin made for their new plugin system, but the install has one extra step compared to usual, so we're going to walk through that right now. This is a free plugin from Collateral Damage Sports Network. Check us out. In the Discord for SDK Gaming, in the Marketplace channel, you can see everything we've got to offer. And reach out to me, Shane Cochran, in that Discord if you're interested in buying anything. Anyway, let's get on with it. So when you open up the zip file for this one, there's two files inside. One is the plugin. The other is this update logos batch file. We'll come back to that in just a minute. But you're going to want to open up your SDK app. Open up the settings, find the overlay and plugins. Then hit the ellipses to open up the plugin manager. You're going to go to the bottom left, hit import, and then bring in that Infinite Logos file you just unzipped. Once it's up, you'll see the details and some other tabs up here. So initialize, dispose, flush, update, those are all JavaScript codes. You don't need to mess with those. The styling is here in the styling tab. It's stored here and it executes from here. You do not have to paste it into your style overrides at all. It helps keep it organized. And then the remote control is in this components tab. You select it and come down and hit add to remote control in the bottom right. That will add this little green box onto your screen. It's a pretty simple remote. It's got a hide and a show and then an image time setting. This is the number of seconds you want each image to hold before it transitions to the next one. And the way that this plugin works is it just looks for a folder within your data folder path being used by the SDK web server. So if you haven't used that before, down at the bottom of the settings, there's a section called Web Server. You can use this to store images and other files you want SDK to be able to access instead of using like a public hosting site for holding logos and things. I like this a lot better because it's easier to manage. It's also easier to switch between leagues. Just have a folder for each one. But the way it works is there's really two settings you use, the listening port and the data folder path. So you're just going to pick a folder on your computer you want to use to hold all your logos and other things for broadcasting. Then you're going to go in here and find it, select it as your data folder path. Once you have that created, you're going to pull it up and create a new folder inside of it called Infinite Logos, capital I, capital L, no space. And then within that folder is where you're going to put all the logos you want to use in your logo component rotation. And it's also where you are going to paste in the update logos batch file. And then once you have your logos here, you're going to double click and run the batch file. It's going to run pretty much sight unseen, and it's going to generate another file in the folder called logolist.json. This is an inventory of all of the images in the folder. And so essentially what we're doing here is the plugin doesn't have access to your local file system. It can't see what's in the folder by default for security reasons. But so to give it the inventory list and to make this list, this is what the batch file is for. So anytime you change the logos in here, add or subtract or whatever, change names, anything, you're going to double click and rerun the batch file, and it's going to update and regenerate this logo list to feed into the plugin. And that's pretty much all you have to do to change your logos from race to race, from league to league, etc. We talked about the data folder path. The other thing to check is that listening port. I like to use 8000, no particular reason. Nice round number. So my code has that built into it. If you're using a different port number for some reason, you don't want to use 8000, that's okay. Go back into the plugin manager, find that Infinite Logos plugin, go to the Initialize tab, and on line 4, you'll see the folder path, the base URL it's using, the Infinite Logos folder we just created. But right here it says localhost 8000. If you're using a different port number, just change it right here to match. And that's all you've got to do to get that up and running. And then all we got to do is hit show, and all of our logos will start going through there. Now they are on kind of a constant rotation in the background so that it doesn't start over at image 1. If you have 100 images and you're kind of hiding and showing, we don't want it to start back at the beginning and forget the ones at the end kind of through the natural rotation. So it is just flowing through the images whether it's showing or not. And then you can change this image time to go faster or slower, however you like. And that's about it. Easy peasy, no updating any CSS code, no checking the file names. All of the pictures are scaled as big as they can be to fit within the height and width of this component that's set in that styling tab. Let's go back and look at that. So in case you do want to move it around or make it bigger, you do that in that Infinite logo plugins styling tab right here at the top. This is the parent component logo slideshow. Use the top right. You can change that to bottom and left if you want. And then the width and height right here, that's as big as the pictures will get, so you can make sure it doesn't run over into your tower or your ticker or any of your other components. And that's really it. This is a pretty simple one. Hope it saves you a lot of time from switching, logos throughout different races and different leagues. All you have to do is update the folder with the images you want, or rerun the batch file, and you're ready to go. If you do have any issue with it not showing, refresh the browser source. Sometimes if you try to run it while that JSON file isn't generated, it'll error out. You just need to refresh the browser source or the HUD to get it out of that error. But if you run the batch file before you get into SDK and try to run it, it seems to work just fine without that error. Anyway, hope this makes your life easier. This one is free. And hope you enjoy it.